maybe. This works. I think we got it down because we're live now. So what's up, you guys? This is David Fox, the Black Belt Realtor with Synergy Realty Group, and here with my co-host again, Mr. Jerry Bobbitt. Jerry, what's up? How you doing?
Good morning, everybody.
You're rocking the Henzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu now.
Picked it up.
Orlando
when I was there.
How was it?
The guy's a beast.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, it's Henzo's school.
Yeah, it's Henzo's school.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't realize that.
He's known Henzo for like 30 years. His kid's name's Henzo.
Oh,
no, he's like in the inner circle, really tight.
That would be a tough round. And
he's a big fella too.
Yeah, we got Jordan. Jordan, what's up, my man?
It's going.
So we are in the winter. Finally made it here. So. It's cold. I think it was 13 degrees out. You know, my hands and everything feel it first, it seems. But it's a tough time to list a home. So obviously our topic today is going to be, you know, unless you absolutely need to sell. Because not only that, it's holidays too. So who's trying to move around Christmas, Thanksgiving time? So a lot of sellers, they kick it down to spring. What can we do? What can we do to spruce up our listings for the spring? But then we also have some amazing Reddit rundowns of lost earnest money deposits, realtors who don't know what they're doing, spring market reductions, and home improvements and what their ROI is or is not, as the case may be. So all of that's coming up, but we'll start right off. What can you do to spruce up our house for listing if we're thinking of listing in the spring? I'm gonna start with Jordan, and then we'll go to Jerry.
So first thing, I would say, well, depending on when you're starting to do the repairs and work, but curb appeal is a huge thing that not everybody takes into consideration. But when you think about it, the first thing people see when people come to your home is the front yard, the approach. And a lot of studies will actually say that people or home buyers actually will know if they're buying the home before they even walk in the home. So curb appeal is a huge thing that, especially in springtime, some people are like, yeah, whatever. I don't want to deal with it. Like the new owner can just do whatever. And then people show up and it's like, you've got some 4-year-old mulch that's half the color it used to be. There's no plants or they're dying and everything's just a mess. That's without even going inside something people can spend a couple $100 on, do a little yard work, and your house looks a lot better than.
You can get carried away. You can get carried away with landscaping.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about? Preaching to the choir. Preaching to the choir here.
Do you know how much money I have in rocks?
I was gonna say, how much did you spend on your pond?
Yeah, but the pond or rocks?
Either.
You don't want to know. My pond. All right. So for those of you that don't know, my wife is also a photographer. She uses our property extensively.
You charge your rent?
I do. It is a tax write-off. Okay. Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
Maintenance.
I guess the mortgage, right?
Yeah, No. The pond especially, because it was a tax write-off. Because she does. That's the only reason it's there, and we maintain it.
Yeah.
Boulders and rocks alone.
10
grand.
For around the
around the pond and on the pond.
That.
And that's cheap.
That's cheap.
Heavy. That's not. Wow.
No, that's
and
cheap.
The reason that is.
I'm trying to think. How big of rocks? Yeah. I'm thinking
Oh, no. Those are cheap rocks.
Yeah.
But that's including those. Yeah. But no, my big boulders. I've got some that weigh 3,000-4,000 pounds.
How'd you move them?
Heavy equipment.
Oh, so that's
not by hand.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, one of the smaller boulders. One of the contractors was getting ready to dump it on some concrete.
Oh, dude!
And it was in between forks.
No.
And it sliced it. Sliced it off.
It didn't slice. It smashed it off.
It didn't slice anything off. It popped it off like a watermelon.
I got pictures if you want to put those up.
I don't. Like, yeah.
It didn't bleed, for those of you just want to know.
That's how smashed it was. It was.
It just crimped it.
He was like about that far away from me, and I looked down and my finger was gone, and I'm like, my finger's gone. He's like, what? And I pulled it up. I'm like, it's gone, and it was gone.
And you didn't. So you didn't.
These two were purple. because it smashed all of them, but it actually only got this one and completely
my
smashed it off.
My dad, he was always in the auto trades, the CNC, and always lifting stuff with like
those machines.
They are. He would yell at me, rightfully so. He would yell at me anytime we were in a shop because I was just like, imagine a 9-year-old running around an auto shop, like not an auto shop, like
you're lackadaisical.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, it's cool, it's the crane, and dude, like that stuff will kill you. And he's like, that will squash you, like, dude. Oh my gosh, so 10 grand in boulders. Okay. All
That's just boulders.
I don't like.
Then you got to rent the heavy equipment to move them.
I mean,
contractors, liners. The liner alone.
I'm just thinking, like when we did our approach. So we had a. You've seen my house, like that. The front door, it was just like a door on the set. There was no sidewalk. There was no trees. There was no. It was just like this. There was nothing there, and like and people still don't use it, but Amanda hated the curb appeal. There's these big overgrown bushes, and so one of the first things we did is ripped out these ugly, huge, like they blocked the windows. You know, it was like one of those like you.
And it's an easy, cheap fix.
Yeah, and so we ripped it all out, and then
not always easy and cheap.
Okay.
Well, it was.
You hook it up to your truck.
It was sweat
it's sweat equity.
Yeah, it's sweat. You get in there with an axe and a little chainsaw or sawzall or whatever.
Pickup truck and a tow truck or a tow tank. What do you call it?
Yeah,
rope.
And we did that, but then we end up putting a walkway in, and that was when I was like actively working in the trade. So we knew, like, we worked with masons every day. We worked and material on the paving, or what are they called, pavers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like $6 grand.
Brick
just
pavers?
Just material.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like bigger ones, right? They were like heavier, but it looks there. I mean, it looks, I don't know if I'll get it back out if we ever go to sell, but it looks substantially better. What is something cheap? What is something cheap though that, like, if you don't want to spend 10 grand on rock? I'm I'm thinking of that Jack Sparrow. They're like, it's a job, dude. It's a job, dude. Like 10 grand on rocks, dude.
You can make over the front of a house really, really cheap. And you really can. So, I mean, I don't care how bad it is. You can 90% of the time remove everything yourself.
Tear it all. Yeah,
tear it all out.
That I agree with. Sure.
90%.
We burned it.
Yeah. I mean, and I really can't think of anything that you can't take out yourself unless it's a huge tree.
Or you're disabled. Yeah.
Or you're disabled, right? But for the most part, you can take it all out yourself. Like you said, it is just sweat equity. Once you have a clean slate, keep it simple. You don't need to go out and buy, right, $10,000 worth of boulders and rock. For a front, you're going to go buy some small little neat little bushes, some flowering plants. You could spend $100-$200 and call it a day. By the time you do that, buy some red mulch or, colorful mulch to set it off. And that's it. You're really just keeping it simple to sprucing up the outside.
Would you do like that? I'm thinking of those. It's not a retaining wall, but it's just like that black kind of like piping
it's a cheap,
stuff.
It's a cheap way to fix it.
Just to differentiate the grass from the,
just keep it simple. And you would be surprised, again, if you take a before and after picture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The difference that makes. And you can paint the front door a bright color, right? Just to make it stand out.
Yeah.
And
red's really popular.
Yeah, red, a bright sun yellow. Yeah. I mean, it really depends on the rest of the house. But when you start just doing those small things from the outside, and then get rid of all the clutter and crap. If you've got little kids, God bless you. I've had to. I know you've got toys. Put it away.
We have a lot of crap.
You don't need 14 different, bicycles and tricycles and you name it sitting outside. And then when you're, depending on your house layout, do they go through the garage? Do they go through the front door?
Yeah.
You don't need 30 pairs of shoes at the front door. Declutter.
Yeah.
Decluttering is huge.
That's
because
a big thing, yeah.
the more stuff you have inside the house, the smaller the house is going to look.
Of course.
The next thing you're going to want to do is make sure all your lights are working. If they're burnt out, change them. Put bright light bulbs in. Brightness lightens up the room. It makes it look a lot bigger. Open all the curtains before all the showings. It just makes more airy. any loose knobs, have a good friend come through and just nitpick the house. Because loose doorknobs, light switches that don't work, hanging wires, I mean, just all that kind of stuff. It's an easy fix. And people don't, because once a buyer starts looking at that stuff, now their list is running, right?
Yeah.
But when they go in and everything's neat, their mentality is, wow, if they take care of the house, I'm probably not going to have any problems moving in.
I just did a listing walkthrough with one of our purple belts, and they're growing families, so they're moving. It's the one right by that. It was the one I texted you about. And they, yeah, I don't know if it's by a popular part of Allen Park, and so same thing. I went through and I was like, all right. I was like, well, I can tell the house is clean. I can tell you're clean people. I can also tell you have a lot of stuff. I was like, you, and I, now I'm because I just met his wife, like a couple times, like maybe in the past month, but I've known him for years. And so he was coming home from work. I was going through it with her. He was going to meet us. And she's like, David says we have too much shit and we need to box it. I was like, I didn't say that. I said you need to tidy it up. I said, and because we had, we'd shown him some homes. I said, put yourself in the buyer's shoes. You wouldn't like this. And this is comfortable to you because it's your stuff. It's your clutter. When it's someone else's clutter, it feels gross. And so I said, and let me know your thoughts on this. People will forgive. It's a detached garage. People will forgive if it's listed and occupied, if you compact everything. Like if you move all of the stuff and the garage is even filled a lot, they'll forgive that a lot more than if it's in the house. What would you?
No, and I always tell people, box it up. Once you know you're moving, if you know you're not going to need it, box it up, put it in the garage, put it in the basement, make an area, and people are going to understand, okay, now they're in the middle of moving. It's going to be a little cluttered in certain areas, not throughout the house.
Yeah.
The other thing I would do, once you get all those little nitpicky things done, if you want to spend money to try to, really sprucing up the house, paint and carpet go a long way.
Dude, paint. It's I am never ceased to be amazed at what paint can do. I mean, paint alone, even if you paint it the same color, it's just fresh because paint gets dull and dingy. We painted my sister's house, dude. It's a completely different house now.
The only last thing I would say is stop smoking in the house if you're a smoker.
Smoking?
Smoking.
Ooh, how do you get rid of smoke? I know. Ozone can help.
Depends on how long they've been smoking.
Well, sure. If you're just chain smoking like Cheech and Chong, sure, like that's.
Well, it depends on what kind of smoke too. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're going down the Cheech and Chong, you're in trouble because that gets permeated into the walls, and I've actually seen
tobacco smoke doesn't.
No, that's
it's a different monster. But I've actually purchased houses, and I'm not a smoker, right? But we've had to wash everything from the ceilings. When I washed the windows, you could just see the tar, the orange just drip off of the windows to the point where I just said screw it, and I honestly just replaced the windows.
Stop it! Over clean glass?
No, you
over clean glass.
They were older windows, and I was like, you know what? They'll last another 3 to 5 years. I just said screw it. No, forget this. It is so nasty.
Wow.
And it is difficult to remove. Can you do it? You can. I think one of the best products out there, it's called Odoban.
Odoban, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That is really, really good to get rid of that smoke smell. But if you're smoking in the house, it's a difficult smell. And I mean, I've had clients say it smells like a wet ashtray, And if you don't know what a wet ashtray smells like, it's because you're a smoker.
Yeah.
If you're not a smoker, you know exactly what I'm saying. And it's just not a good smell, and it can immediately turn off home buyers.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. I had one listing. It was so bad that there was yellow tar stains going down the wall.
I've seen that, and I've heard it. Is that the nicotine?
It is.
So that's the nicotine. Yeah, my grandma, dude, she smoked. She's like 95, and I don't know. She's defies all science and medical journals. Like she's like 95, has smoked. She stopped for a little bit. She stopped for about 5-6 years, and then like turned 90 and started smoking again. And she's living forever.
She's like, hey, if I'm 90, I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Yeah, it's like at this point, and But yeah, you walk in and it just gets into the carpet, it gets into the walls. She's got like wallpaper, I think, and it's just
it's
tough.
good
See,
luck.
and with the other product that we were talking about,
Yeah.
you don't have to smoke it, right? I've had so many houses now where they're growing it in the basement, in a secret room,
I've seen
whatever.
more
I
of that.
think
Yeah.
growing is even worse than 'cause
That-
the growing, just like you said, gets in and it stays. in
Really?
the
I had a
walls.
$500,000 house listed, and they were growing it in the basement. And of course, I was like, "We're not doing anything until you get this out." So, harvested, gone. He did kills the basement, painted it, did everything he could,
Nothing, huh?
and
You
it
walked in
still
the front
smelled.
door and it was
Before you got into the house, people
Wow.
were complaining that you could smell it outside, like at the front door.
Holy cow.
And that house ended up selling for like $350,000, and it should have sold for about $500,000, but it just nobody wanted it.
That's an extreme
It was.
discount.
It was-
That's an extreme discount.
there
For
was some
150
there was
grand?
some other stuff that ended up I think it was cement.
Well, there was a little bit of cement issues, and it ended up going towards the end of the year, this time of year, right? Because I told him, hey, we need to get this thing listed in the beginning, springtime. It's worth $500,000. Of course, what do I know, right? He ended up giving me the listing like in early September, mid-September, and I'm like, okay, but you've missed the market now. I told you this in April. Now we need to sell quick before it gets too cold. And this was a nice big house.
You wouldn't have. So curiously, you wouldn't have. That's not worth it for you to buy at 350.
I wouldn't have touched it. No.
Really?
It stunk
If it's worth
so
if
bad.
it's worth 500.
You couldn't get that smell out.
The only way
I
you're
mean,
getting that out.
everybody. That's if I showed that house 10 times, I showed it 50, and everybody from the potential buyers to the showing agents.
How many plants are we talking?
Oh, the whole entire basement.
So
was a professional
imagine
grow.
imagine your room out here just filled.
Yeah,
Just
it was the
filled.
basement
So he had dozens of plants.
or more.
Or probably close to 100.
So
if
it's not
Yeah,
like
no.
a plant.
No,
or
no,
two.
no, no, it's not
Because
like-
I'm like, dude, that's
No.
that's pretty.
No.
that's pretty.
No,
That's,
it was bad.
getting beat over the head.
It was Well, I mean, he made up for it on the back end, right?
Yeah, I
Or
guess.
on this the front end,
I
but
guess, yeah, the front end.
oh yeah, he made up for it.
Yeah, the only way you're getting rid of smell when it's baked into the walls like that is you're replacing all the drywall, you're replacing the subfloor, and you're praying that it's not anywhere else.
So it was a finished basement.
Yeah.
It was
It was a walkout.
partially. It was a partially finished walkout.
Where was this?
on
Huron River Drive,
I was gonna say, sounds like New Boston. Okay, so here, like,
close to 75ish,
okay,
east of
so
75.
near your hood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So drywall. Yeah, I mean, that's just hard for me to believe. Like,
same thing with Cappy.
like rip out. Did he have no exhaust? He had no exhaust.
Oh, that was all professionally done. Honestly, if you just walked into the basement and you didn't know where you were at on the outside, if you just looked at the basement, you thought you were in a professional grow. The lights, I mean, everything was done very professionally.
He put 60 grand into the basement. Okay. Wow.
No, everything was done right. Just smelled.
Yeah.
Same thing with Cappy.
How long was he doing that for?
Well, for at least one season. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know him prior to, so I don't
Yeah.
know how long he
I
was doing
see.
it beforehand.
Yeah, yeah.
I met him in the middle of some contract work that I had done, and
I see.
so I ended up going over to the house, and I'm like,
Did,
he's like, well, can't do anything until I harvest, and
did he?
His story.
So where did he gonna buy? Did he buy?
he did. He ended up buying out by my hood, a little bit further west, but it's
Yeah.
in Monroe County this time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Huh. That's. It seems like like you said, rip out the drywall, rip out the
But you can't. If it was
I guess
partially
if it's getting into the joist,
that's where I was
going
gonna
to
go.
Getting into
Yeah,
the wood,
it was.
because the wood. I mean, that's
can't.
that's a breathing.
Yeah, it's
a breathing-
porous,
Yeah,
right?
so it will kind of like sponge up whatever. He kills that.
tried.
Nothing. Wow, that's hard to believe. To take a
and it was.
take
And here's the thing:
$150,000
when he
bath on that.
first painted and killed everything, it was good, right? Because you had that fresh smell. But like 2 weeks into it, it was just like it had dissipated, and it didn't.
It started to mix, and then
then you get the smell of kills along with.
You got to show
pot.
me this listing after the show. Like,
All right.
You gotta I'll pull it up on that. That's huh.
Cat pee's the same way though too.
Dude,
Cat pee's even
I
worse.
won't. I would no.
Yeah, that's the
no,
other
no.
one. You might as well demolish the house.
I'll walk in and walk out. I was doing a virtual showing with my clients in Kentucky, and I literally walked in, and I was like, oh. and they're like, it's all right, you can turn around. I was like, thank you. And like I walked right back at it. Like it was dogs though. And
it'll curl your hair, man.
Dude, they just let them like dog urine into the hardwood. Like what? Who lives like that? Like
You'd be surprised.
What type of animal lives like that? I don't. It's kind of crazy to me. Yeah. All right, so we talked about landscaping, sprucing up. Paint goes a long way. I honestly power washing, house washing.
Yeah, especially if it's a vinyl siding or an aluminum siding on the outside.
Goes a really long way. You can
clean the windows. Have you ever thought of that?
Clean the windows. Yeah. Clean the windows. They every spring we do. When we open the pool and things we have a power wash. They have these like pretty sweet disc heads now. Like it's like an orbital. Dude, I mean that's way quicker way to clean concrete and because the trees.
Oh, do they go on the power washers?
Yeah,
I have one of those.
Like on the trees and stuff, like the sap and the leaves and the thing. It just creates this really gross kind of So that goes a long way too. And I liken it to like it's your first impression. Imagine like.
No, I saw the look, Dave.
Go ahead. We'll talk to Jordan on this one. We're gonna pass this to Jordan.
I wasn't trying to. I'm saying.
Just imagine he looked.
Imagine you're single. Imagine like you got your first impression and hi, my name's David and my shoelaces are untied and you're like you had like this was a preventable event. Like you could have had your stuff together. Or I've got a stain,
a mustard stain on your shirt.
I've got a stain on my shirt or my hair's uncut.
Your zipper's undone.
Yeah,
your hair's a mess.
Things, yeah, these little things that they're not necessarily deep, but the house will never look. The house will never look better than when you're trying to list it for sale. So if this is what it looks like now, what did it look like? They cleaned it up to get to this point. So if it looks like a train wreck now, what did it look like before? And then all of the problems that follow. So that's kind of what I like in it. So I'm gonna let you off the hook. We're not gonna dive into what your red flags are for dating. Maybe that's a different podcast or something. All right, so we're gonna get into our Reddit rundown. We have loss of earnest money. Had a home inspection done on a house. Radon was found. Possible mole. So you got the radon inspection. That's pretty rare around here, right? My house had it in South Lyon, but
it's hit or miss. Yeah. I have it on some. It's up to your buyers, right? Some buyers are a little bit more finicky and want it done, and some buyers could care less.
25%.
I'd even say even less.
Even less.
That sounds high.
That's high. Yeah, I mean, I've had
depends on the area because obviously it's in the ground, right? So I haven't. You see it downriver? I don't really see it.
I saw it.
You do some.
Yeah, there's some areas where in some inspectors might even tell you, hey, I've done some testing in the area and we've had a couple of high levels. Especially, and they say too, if you plan on being in the basement a lot, then you might want to get it done more.
And it's an easy fix.
It is.
It's a really easy.
It's a fan.
That's it.
It's a fan.
Right. So don't think, the house is radon, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
No, it's a fan.
It's literally a fan and some PVC. All right. So possible mold dive holes in insulation from rodents and attic. Did you see my sister's?
I was gonna bring that up,
dude.
Because those aren't Michigan native.
They pulled out number 13 today. 13.
He said something about
those are like Australia. Like I looked it up.
Are these friendly?
I mean, they're not like. They haven't been attacked, but they okay. I'm gonna share some context here. I wonder if I could even maybe pull it up on the Facebook on the desktop. Meantime, but they bought the home, got into it, heard scratching in the walls, and they thought it was mice. So he puts a mouse trap, up in the attic, and does indeed kill a mouse. Right? Puts a second one up there, and then it's just gone, like hijacked, it's stolen. And he's like, that's weird. And then he turns around, and there's just a squirrel, but it's not like a normal squirrel like we all know.
Right.
Like it's like I'm gonna try and pull up my it's like a best I can say is it's like a flying squirrel.
Sugar gliders.
Sugar gliders, thank you. So I've got this. That's me.
So they're native to Australia, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. Not
so
American.
they're not even native to here. Where do they? Where,
Someone brought it in as a
find
pet.
out.
They left it, and it started
Yeah,
reproducing.
look at. I don't know if you can see this. That's like a. What did you say? Someone brought it in as a pet?
Yeah, they're good. They're
I
pets.
didn't get the video.
What were you doing this whole time?
There's This was 13 of these.
Hi, buddy. Hi. You're just a baby.
See, it's a weird. It almost looks like a rat with a tail, kind of.
Yeah.
But it's a cute large mouse. And so they yeah.
Do I ask what they're doing with them? Or
They're putting them in the park. They're taking them to the park.
Oh, they're gonna
and
die.
so they're.
They should sell them.
That's what they were joking about. They're like, we should sell them.
No, sugar gliders are pets. That's what they're here. That's why it's here. It's there. It was someone's pet, and it reproduced.
what do these things sell for?
I don't know. I mean, I can. But yeah, no, that's what it was. Because I was talking.
So they've been taking them to the park.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah,
yeah,
you might want to
they're-
call the DNR before you do that.
But
Yeah, you can't really do.
I
you're
mean,
not
you know what I'm
supposed to do
saying?
that.
It might disrupt the ecosystem.
No, they're all gonna die. Not to be morbid, but they need warmth. They're all gonna die. Let me see.
And Dave laughs. And that's how we got canceled.
I mean, like, but
I'm just saying-
Well, he did say after they so imagine they've done this. This is now 13 times. So after the first 2 or 3, they would and it's like on a daily like thing because they only have one trap and they're not like just waiting there.
Right.
And after the second or third, he did like drop them off, and you heard like owls in the background, like, and so they got to eat too, I guess.
They're about $100. This one's a bonded pair. They're $450. I'm just kidding.
But
yeah, no, they're pets. It'd be like when someone leaves their goldfish in the Detroit River or whatever.
So could they? I mean, could he take it? Where is Petco? Like
I don't. I just looked it up because when you said they were flying, I'm like, we don't have those. And then you said sugar gliders. So I looked up. I'm like, they're not native to Michigan either. So I looked it up, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's someone's pet that they just let in the house, and then
there's 13 of them though.
well, they produce like they're rodents, though.
Right,
They
rat-
reproduce quick.
So what do you mean they left it in the house?
They left it in the house.
The
I don't
guy,
know.
the owner of this place was like 90 though.
May have been before him. It may have been somebody else's that got into his attic. I don't know. All I'm saying is that's not native to Michigan.
That is.
I mean, it's like when they found that crocodile in the Belle Isle. Someone released a pet.
You didn't hear about
You
that?
didn't hear about that?
Just a couple months ago.
Yeah, it was like a
crocodile.
Yeah, just this past summer.
It was like
Stop
a 3-foot baby one.
That
it was
that's
still-
that big.
too big. It's too big. It's too big. Like I
didn't
don't,
hear
I don't
about that?
play around with crocodiles.
It was an alligator, crocodile, one of the two.
I think it was an
remember.
alligator. But yeah, they just found it on the east side of Belle
No,
Isle.
dude, that's no. Like that's one thing about Michigan is like we don't have hurricanes, we don't have crocodile, we don't have huge snakes, we don't have. Like,
Yeah,
have
we
full-
do. My mom.
Oh,
had like
yeah,
a
we do.
6-foot, was it a
That's
rat
not
snake?
a huge snake. I mean, it's
Oh,
too
no.
big for me. It's too big for me. But like, we don't have a 26-foot
No,
anaconda.
yeah,
No, this thing was
It was
6 foot.
That's too big. Dude. I went.
She
dude,
calls me and she's like,
Sherry?
Yeah.
It was at
I'm
our
at the
house.
It was a
office.
rattlesnake.
No,
No,
rat.
it was
a
it's
rat.
called
was it,
a,
was it a rat?
Doesn't
snake?
matter. Honestly,
No.
dude, it doesn't matter if this thing read me nighttime books. Like it
So
doesn't.
it was bigger than our microphone. I mean,
Yeah, it was huge.
girth wise. Oh, she
No.
calls me and she's like,
No,
"There's a
no,
big
no.
rattlesnake in the backyard."
No,
Right?
No.
There's pictures. Have her send it.
Yeah.
no.
I'll look.
We
So-
get the pistol.
So she calls me
No,
and she's like, "Oh, there's a big snake in the backyard." Right? You've
I'm
been to
thinking
the
like
house.
like a garden hose. Or
Yeah,
something.
and I'm thinking, okay, then kill it.
Fox snake.
Why are you calling me?
It's called a fox snake.
Yeah,
Okay, Jerry.
it wasn't that
We
big.
exaggerated a little
me
bit there,
see.
Jerry. I mean,
No!
that's,
It's
that's
still
not,
it was
no.
6 foot, but it was
It's
probably
6
like,
foot.
That is too big. No, it's the length, yes, but that's not as big as your microphone, dog. Like
No, it was a little. It was probably a little
yeah,
like that.
I mean,
But still,
that's
Okay, well, I have 2 Rottweilers, right? So
That
I'm
makes
like,
me sick.
I'm like,
no, dude.
I'm like, why are you calling me over snake? We've got 250-pound Rottweilers. Let them outside. Let them have some fun.
They got to tear it up.
One would. The other one would
yeah.
just be more curious. But
Yeah.
one, no, he would use it as a chew toy.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, no, I don't want him to get hurt. I'm like,
Is
they're
that
100
poisonous?
No, they're not.
Yeah.
So she ends up sending me the picture of it. I'm like, oh, it is a little bit bigger than I thought.
She had that. So Sherry.
Oh, there was a
No, it's-
contractor across the street, and she saw him, so he came over and
dude, we were in Florida and it was just one of these condos in Orlando, and I just went out to go like do some work on their enclosed patio, and I opened the door and I just see this black. Nah, dude, snakes are the hardest no for me. Like
I like snakes.
So you
want a
couldn't do
snake.
Fear Factor, like get like lay down in a bed and have them dump.
no, no, I can't. I've gotten better with spiders. I've gotten better with snakes, dude. No, because you know what I think. I've thought about this. I don't know how they can move. Like they seem to just.
They're all muscle.
But they move really strangely.
Yeah.
I know I take a four-legged animal, like take a wolf. I know kind of how they move. I know if you bend their back, like they're gonna break something. Like they're a mammal. I know how their vertebrae works. I have no idea how a snake can move. I know if you go to grab it, it can wrap it. Like that freaks me out, dude. And then
just
they
one
always
long
say
muscle,
like,
right?
oh, you can tell by their eyes if they're poisonous. Yeah, so let me get real close and like see if they're not you're out of your mind, dude. Like, so I'm just gonna go at it. I don't play with snakes. Like it was an event.
Now that I know.
Dude, no, it wasn't. You should have seen.
Wait till we do next
I have
man
a-
camp.
I had to hype myself up to get this black snake out of the sunroom and I had my kids were with me, and I'm like, I had to hype myself up
Scarlett's like, I'll get it, Daddy.
Play Rocky music dude. It was so gross. So
Anthony
I don't play with that. Anthony, he says, staging a house for Anthony. Yeah, we should get back to talking about real estate.
Sorry, Anthony.
So staging a house for a holiday seemed to help, made it feel like nice family. Yeah, you did a great job with. He did a great job with his.
Did you make
listing.
cookies?
I think he did actually.
That's always great.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
If chocolate chip cookies leave a great smell in the house.
Yeah,
And that's the other thing. Lighting candles, chocolate chip cookies, baking. Even having them out in the center.
That's what I was. That's why you said back to real estate, and I'm like, you're not reading the comment I was talking about.
Yeah. He says I left my pet raccoon in Elizabeth Park, and everyone posted in Downriver and Friends, why is a raccoon trying to get in my car? Why is a raccoon waking up to me, walking up to me wanting food? Oh no! Yeah,
Is that who I think it is?
yeah, it's Terwilliger.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's Terwilliger. Yeah. I mean that's dude. I don't do snakes. I can't do that. I can't do snake. I can do a raccoon, the sugar glider, but they're number. That's number 13. They pulled number 13 out today.
That's crazy.
It was pretty insane.
Hey, at $100 a pop, that's $1,300.
I know, right? Like I need to start telling, put them on Marketplace, create a little whatever. Okay, so all that to say, dive holes in insulation from rodents and attic, negative slope of concrete towards the house, insulation needed in attic, among other things.
Let me hit the concrete one really fast.
Yeah.
If you have concrete and it has a crack in it, those are easy fixes to go FHA and VA. As long as if the crack is larger than say an inch and a half wide, imagine a lady's high heel. If it can get stuck in there, fix it.
Yeah.
Fill it with some crack filler, level it off with a paintbrush, just feather it in, and you're done.
Yeah.
If it's uneven, again, get crack filler and let it settle in and just feather it in so it is smooth again, because FHA will allow you to fix it if they have not seen it.
Ahead of time, yeah.
What they see, they can't unsee.
Yeah.
Once they see it, they're not going to allow you to fix it.
You
Now you
replace
have
it.
to replace it.
Yeah.
So it's a quick fix for $10-$20 that you don't have to address, and everybody knows you're putting lipstick on the pig, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's permissible. It's just you can't do it once they see it.
Yeah, sure.
So if you've got some cracks outside, fix it. If you've got some chipped paint on the outside, scrape it and paint
I
it.
actually used that on my walkthrough because they had just old. It's just an older house, and it was I said the exact same thing. I said definitely get we're gonna want to fill these. Doesn't have to be major. Just fill the crack, to where it's done. And it says I'm deciding not to move forward because only $600 was offered in repairs. In addition to $1,300 for radon, I offered $7,000 over asking. In addition to not asking for anything under $500, I'm gonna guess that's FHA, maybe inspection, or my realtor is stating I can lose my earnest money deposit because these things aren't considered defects. Not sure how to proceed because I don't want to lose my $2K.
Well, your real estate agent's wrong. and
Assuming, yeah.
Assuming you're again in Michigan, but even I don't understand just based off the radon alone.
It says we don't. I mean, I could get into the comments, but I'm assuming this is during the inspection period.
Yeah.
Which you don't even need a reason. Like,
No,
we're going to use Michigan law, right?
Yeah.
And Michigan purchase agreement. So it really depends on where they're located at. But in Michigan, I mean, I could have an outlet. I don't like the way it looks, and you can call it a day.
it says, where do you live that there has to be defects? In my state,
Yeah.
you don't even get. You don't even.
You really
you
don't
need to even get an inspection. The contingency can be activated for any or no reason. That doesn't make much sense. So I will say I like we talked about having Peterson on as a guest. He's cool. He's got really cool inspectors, and one of them I think it's Rob.
Yeah.
He's super cool. He's like water and rodents are undefeated, and so it's water gets into a house. It's how much, if you see a little water stain, the house is not falling down. Especially when he talks about roof and attics. And in attics, he's like, I see mouse, some type of evidence of creatures somewhere, whether it's droppings or, little nests or whatever. They're just trying to stay warm. Now, if they're actively in there, then of course, get them out. But it's not like you're infested, So, this whole thing is with my siblings and these sugar gliders. Amanda's like, it's so great. I was like, it's relatively recent history that I mean, this was just part of normal mundane living for millennia. And now we get any of these things in and we're like, our house is disgusting. It's just kind of we grew up in you put mice traps out, you kill them, you get rid of them. And it's more common, especially in the country, I feel. So
You have the field mice. And they're like you said, they're trying to stay warm, and you don't have a problem with them.
Yeah.
All year long until about this time of year, and we've got some phenomenal. I wish I would have known we were going to talk about this one. The traps. They use a sonic sound. You plug them into an outlet, and we have them in the attic. Jordan went up last week. We put them in, and you can hear them. But you can only hear them when you're in our walk-in closet. That's the only time. But we heard mice last week on 2 or 3 different occasions, every night. And I'm like, we got to, it's that time of year. We got to do something. He went up there and he's like, there's some holes in the insulation. You can see where they're burrowing in. He plugged them in, and we have not heard anything.
So
Anything.
it sends off ultrasonic pitch.
It's like the mole, when those mole things that you go sticking around and it sends out a high frequency sound.
No,
okay, it's same thing as
It's a high frequency sound.
You just go plug it in, it emits a sound. You can hear it. It's just a high frequency, just constant.
How far? What's the range on them?
Well, it says depending on how broken up to 1,800 square feet for one unit.
Oh, it's big.
Oh,
It's big. It's a big footprint.
Yeah.
Wow. So
We just plugged one
mice
in.
only?
No, there's other rodents as well. Like I said,
sugar gliders.
yeah, maybe seriously.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, the
Yeah.
the tough part is they closed up the opening now. Dude, every morning I'm just waking up to a new text of a new sugar glider. It's like some type of Pokemon collection at this point.
Gotta catch them all.
All right. So next Reddit rundown. Here we go. This one sounds like it's going to be friendly. Some of you realtors don't use your brains. No offense, by and large, I appreciate the work you do. I'm an attorney, and one of my practice areas is real estate transactions. I know some of you think that is stupid. You have no idea why you'd want or need a lawyer. I just keep having to fix realtor stupidity, and it's making me nuts. My client wanted to sell his mother's home. She passed away and left it to him in trust. He's in no hurry. The home is worth around $1 million to $1.1 based on comps. His realtor convinced him to take the first offer at $900K within a week of the listing. The realtor took forever to complete the listing agreement, like 2 weeks. He sent over the contract last night. It's not properly filled out. It's not executable. He left out more information than he put in. No buyer's address, no seller's information whatsoever, no signatures or initials by seller on any page. That's pretty tough. So he included fixtures the house doesn't have. Yes, the lawyer can fix it, but that's not an excuse to screw it all up. Worst of all, he put a closing date of December 5th, Thursday and Friday. I'm going to fast forward here. Oh, well, F me and my scheduled vacation at that time of year when many people schedule vacations, because who the F tries to do a fast closing around Thanksgiving?
Everybody.
Yeah, so you need to close in 7.5 business days. That's just improbable.
It's cash.
Depends on the type of financing.
Yeah, if it's cash, it's fine. I mean, as long as title work's done, then that's the only thing that needs to be done. I mean, but to his earlier point, when he said all realtors, or not all realtors, but realtors are bad. I mean,
Some of you realtors don't use your brains.
Yeah, I could say the same thing about his attorneys.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
point like just extremely, I don't want to say stupid, but common sense stuff. And you can go to a judge and attorney, and they'd be like, "Huh," and they're completely clueless.
Yeah.
So he's a real estate attorney. I'm sure he knows talking.
Well, he's not even a real estate. He's not a. It's one of the things. That he does, right? So he's like one of the things that we do.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, there's some good attorneys out there. There's some bad attorneys out there. There's some good agents out there. There's some bad agents out there. Just because you've got a couple of experiences with a bad agent doesn't mean they're all bad. Just like I'm sure he's had some fun experiences with other attorneys where he was like, "You passed the bar? How?" So I mean, I hate that line, especially from an attorney, because trust me, I've had plenty of conversations with attorneys where they've royally screwed things up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's our, like I had one was not probate, sorry.
It was probate.
And the mother passed away. Everything was in the kids' names. The trust stated that they could sign, and I even called the attorney beforehand and said, "Hey, we got an offer. Can she sign, or need to go through probate?" She can sign. We're good. Don't need to go through probate. Awesome. And again, mind you, I told her at that point, or them at that point, that we had an offer, and they said, "Cool. Send us over a copy of the settlement statement when you get it,
Yeah.
and a copy of the EMD."
Yeah.
3 weeks go by, or not 3 weeks, a week or two go by, and we get the settlement statement from closing because title work's done. We're good to go. I send it over to them, and they go, "Oh, well, we never got a copy of the PA. This actually needs to go to probate."
Oy.
I said, "You never got a copy of the PA?" And you guys like, "Yeah, we never even knew you guys had an offer accepted." I'm like, here's an email you asking for a copy of the EMD and a copy of the settlement statement.
Yeah.
How do you not know we don't?
So
have
how long did probate take then?
45 days.
Yeah, so it really screwed things up.
Quick for probate. So
It was quick, but
for probate. Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about a cash sale, now it was a quick 2-week
Oh,
close.
it was a cash sale.
It went from cash, we're closing in 2 weeks, to we're closing in like 2 months,
Yeah.
maybe.
The buyer stuck around though.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, that's cool.
This did not work out for them in the long run.
Yeah, I mean it's like anything else. I think if someone's good at their job, it should seem like they don't do much. It should seem that you shouldn't. The problem shouldn't even make their way to you.
100%.
So that is title issues, inspection issues, seller like just the shenanigans that can go in a transaction. Like, what do you want me to call up my client and let them know that I just spent 3 hours on title working out some type of tax lien or whatever issue there was that they don't really need to know about? Like, it's like, oh, there's a title. We figured it out though. We got you squared away. We're ready for clear whenever. That's the value of it. Did I share with you the gentleman I met he now runs a nonprofit because his daughter had her first, I mean, it was genetic, but her first psychotic break because she was so stressed out over her home buying. She legit, yeah. So I was in a business group I'm in, he was a guest, and they brought him in as a nonprofit. He told the story, and his my again, it was genetic, but he's like, she had her first psychotic break through the stress of a home buying process.
Try doing it for a living.
Well, yeah. So right. So and there's now again. So it's, to me, it's always like, I think there's levels to this as well. If you have $1 million house, okay, you're making good money, right? Reason would suggest, unless you just bought it and appreciated. But like, what is the stress? What is the cost of that, of having to do that yourself? And how good are you? Because now you can let negotiations get away from you really fast at that point. And if that's something that you're not good, some people make plenty of money. They just don't like dealing with people. They're not good at negotiations. They can get taken for whatever the reason is, right? Or they don't even know the things that are allowed. They don't know
right.
the tactics that are permitted. So it's not just a financial thing. It's what's the stress of the situation. Where if you can handle it, by all means, do your thing. But a lot of people, I'm seeing more and more, they can't. They're like, I don't know where to begin. I don't know the first step. Can you just kind of tell me what to do? And then I like to educate, and then they make the joint decision. So.
Yeah, I think more people need to start interviewing more agents, because unfortunately, perfect example is like that guy. I mean, if you've got $1 million listing and it takes you 2 weeks to get a contract ready, dude, you're getting fired right off the bat. Yeah. So, I mean, the seller can, I don't want to say take some accountability, but like, come on, man, you probably knew up front that this guy was not.
Yeah, I was going to say, my guess is that he was a friend.
Yeah.
That realtor was a friend, because there is no reason on God's green earth you take 2 weeks to fill out a listing agreement. There's no reason you don't fill out a purchase agreement correctly before you send it over to anybody. Yeah. I mean, those are just asinine. Now, on the other hand, yes, you can close a deal, especially a cash one, within 7 days. And his last comment, oh, woe is me, because it's the holiday weekend.
Screw me, I guess I'm going to have to work through the weekend. Bro, get out of here.
Exactly. That's why we get paid.
That's what you signed up for.
So, I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, he made some comments that were not real professional, and it sounds like he was dealing with an unprofessional. So the two probably made a good.
All I needed to see was the lawyer going onto Reddit to gripe. That's all I had to see.
Yeah.
All right. Spring market predictions. Well, we've had our house in the market since October. Has gone under contract 3 different times, and have buyers pull out each time for our non-real house issues. First, buyer lost their job. Second, thought our sump pump failed.
That's a house issue.
Thought our sump pump failed once.
Their sump pump failed.
Thought our sump pump failed once we were prone to flooding.
So it flooded. The sump pump failed once, and the new owner or the potential buyer thought it was prone to flooding. They thought
because
it failed once, it's prone to flooding.
They thought because our sump pump failed once that the house is icy. Third, our banister, which would have been in the disclosures, right? Is that how they found
the sump pump?
Yeah.
I
mean,
again, I think it's going to depend on the agent. We go back to that professionalism, right? Yeah. Some agent will be like, "Oh no, don't disclose it because you're going to scare away potential buyers." Where I would teach all of our agents, disclose, because I don't want it to come back on us. I don't want it to come back on your client. Disclose it. It was a pump. It was a sump pump failure.
Yeah.
It happens.
Happens regularly.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's why we have the sump pump, because if we don't have sump pumps, basements are going to flood, especially in the southeastern Michigan. We're one big swamp, if anybody didn't know. And then when you put a house into the ground that's soaking wet, water tends to go to the least path of resistance,
of course,
and that usually is the basement at some point in time. And then we have a sump pump just to keep circulating that water and keep throwing it away from the house.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see, like they get, sump pump failed once. That's where some of that evidence of water you saw back in the time. Mm-hmm. But you can see there's a new sump pump in there with a battery backup or whatever, or it's a backup pump or whatever.
And I would recommend you always replace those every 3 years, 5 years, whether it's working or not.
That's a lot. Okay.
It's easy. It's easy to do, and you can see the warranties on those things are only 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. So if it's not under warranty, I have another one there. I had one. It was a $150 fix. I quickly ran to Home Depot, came back by that time I had 4 inches in my basement. And I seriously just yanked it out, plugged it in, and popped it back down, and it was done.
Oh wow.
And I kick myself because I'm like, you moron. You preach it. You know it. And at a minimum, I should have had another one sitting on the shelf sitting there.
Yeah.
As a backup. Just in case.
My same thing. My brothers, they've had some issues. They knew they were getting some issues, but his ejector pump for his sewage,
yes,
they're on septic, dude.
That's crappy.
We spent move-in day vacuuming out the sewage with my shop vac and hauling it out to the back. It was
I'd rather play with snakes.
Yeah. I don't know. Depends on the snake, I guess.
I want a snake.
So that at any rate, we're getting whiplash with all this going under contract and coming back onto the market stuff, and wondering if we should wait until spring. What are the general opinions of the spring housing market? What will it look like? My husband and I are worried housing costs are going to decrease and we'll get less for our house. This was 6 days ago. Wow. But I don't know if we have any idea what we're talking about or not. Curious what the professionals thinks. Yeah, notes. We're scheduled to talk to our agent, so of course I'll ask her, but I'm going to go to Reddit first because I'm impatient. Like, okay. Stop. All right. Yeah, I don't know. She's great. We're in the northern suburbs of Chicago.
I know Chicago is taking a bit of a dip right now, so... But to
almost to Wisconsin, she says.
I mean, to talk about spring market, I wish we knew where it was going to be, for sure. But I don't see there are any signs of at least in our area, a big downturn, maybe a correction, but to take a hit, I mean, houses are still selling. There's still buyers looking. I don't see where you can take a crash. So I don't know. I would keep it up a little bit longer if I was her, and then maybe, well, come January, February, if it still hasn't, take it down, and then wait a month, 2 months, and then relist it in spring.
What do you think, Jerry?
It's hard to say when you're talking different areas, and that's why you need to hire a professional for your area. Yep. That being said, I don't know what the market's going to do. I can only tell you in this area, we're not having any kind of correction. It's our typical winter correction. So to me, you're not seeing a market correction. This is something that we see every year over the last 30 some years that I've been doing real estate. It slows down in the wintertime because nobody wants to move when it's -5 out.
Sure.
You just had Thanksgiving. Now you got Christmas. Then you have New Year. So for us in this area, typically real estate does tend to slow down. That being said, the problems that they had are unfortunate. Do they happen? Yeah. It does. I can't say it happens a lot, thank God, but it does happen. And those are the hiccups you as a professional, you wish you could do something about. But it's just one of those things that I try to let my clients know there are going to be hurdles. I don't care how clean of a deal it is.
Sure.
We'll try to make them as simple as possible, but just be prepared. Just because we get the offer that you want doesn't mean it's going to close, right? You could run into hurdles, and this is a perfect example. They saw, which I don't understand how they didn't know. That was one of my thoughts. It's on a disclosure statement.
Yeah, should be.
Disclosure statements are given prior to an offer being written. So if you knew prior to that the sump pump had a failure and that caused a backup, why would you write an offer?
Look at this third. Did I read this third reason? The third reason, they decided our banister railings were too far apart. They meet code and wouldn't allow us to fix it to their desired specs. So they got cold. Okay. They got cold feet.
They just got cold feet.
I mean, that's It's not you, it's me. So reading some of these comments is interesting. So a lot of the Midwest is still pretty competitive, as others have said. The fact that you were already under contract 3 times is a good sign. Nobody knows the future, especially the morons who can't grasp that the real estate is local and regional. But based on the current trends, you'll be fine in the spring when the market is busy,
I like that person.
when busier.
Right.
This warm AD 5656 says it's the price. Lower the price. I suggest an aggressive spring listing with materially lower price, so your listing goes to the top.
That's funny.
And with all due respect, it's not the price. We've been under contract 3 times, gotten
know.
6 offers. We've been listed 2 or 3 times. It's been active it's only been active for 10 days since it went on the market. The rest of the time was contingent. That's a hot area, dude. That's a hot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Please do not listen to.
yeah, a warm AD 5656. What do you, dude? I joke with Amanda all the time. I was like, I don't necessarily want social scores, but I can understand the appeal to social score. Like at any time, like if someone says something outlandish, I'm like, all right, let's pull up Warm AD's credit score, financial history. Like, what have you actually built or done? You ain't done anything. Got it. Boom. And just like move you to the back of the line. Like make room. Adults are talking. You know, like
Go sit on the
that
porch.
is crazy.
China's actually doing that.
Yeah. What?
Social scores.
China.
They're starting it.
Yeah, see, I mean, the like 1% of me is like, oh, that'd be, because then you could see who you're dealing with. It's kind of like a forewarned situation. But like, I think as a society, it's a terrible thing.
It
Like,
can get out of control.
Yeah. No,
right?
I don't like. I'm not like. Yeah, I don't think that's good at all.
No, I was just saying,
anytime that you can just toggle off my spending power and starve me, like I'm not here for that.
This person ran a red light. His score is now down 10 points.
Yeah, dude, there was a. I've heard. I haven't watched it. You watch Black Mirror at all?
I do not. I've seen episodes. It's just, I've seen the one where like you can kind of pick. Have you seen that one? So it's
I've only seen one, and it had like killer bees in it, and it was trippy. But,
there's one on Netflix, and that's the only one that I've watched because I thought it was kind of cool because I've never seen a show like this. It's on Netflix, and you control what the character does in certain situations. So like it'll be a scene, and
That's cool.
and then so it'll be like your dad and you are fighting. Blah blah blah. Do you say you're sorry or punch him in the face? And I'm making that up. I don't remember.
Of a first hand, I can control.
So you, the watcher, control what does the
next scene.
The next scene.
So it's interactive.
It's interactive. So do you A, punch your dad in the face? And again, I'm making this up. I can't remember. It's been like 5 years. Do you A, punch him in the face, or B, apologize? And based on so you can watch the show 5, 6, 7, 8 times and get a completely different shows because what you asked or what you decided to do earlier on affected what your decision did later.
How did they do that?
I don't know because honestly, I thought
this is a television show.
It's on Netflix.
On Netflix.
It's a movie, but it's
crazy.
like 30, 45 minutes, but you can redo
course,
it
yeah.
because and so what they did on Netflix was they filmed all the different options.
Of course.
And
If
then
simple code. Yeah.
And then based on what you picked, you're out. Your options.
See,
are
I
different.
thought that would always be a cool thing, and I'm talking like decades ago. I thought, but how would you ever make a movie like that?
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix does. It's a Black Mirror.
That's
on
been
Netflix.
around on video games for a minute.
Yeah.
Like years.
A video game, I can we do that all the time with video
Sure.
games, but on a movie,
Yeah.
to be able to base
So
characters and choices and everything off.
So how many variants did you watch of that? Did you
Two or
go
three.
through? So what were the two?
Like I said,
Okay.
it was
All right.
6 years ago, and
Huh.
I don't remember. I remember watching it. That I
Yeah,
can tell you certain
yeah,
things in it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I can't remember.
Well, the point there's one of them where it's a social score, right? And I think so it's effectively, I've never seen it, but it's effectively like we're walking down the street, I order something from you, you get chippy with me, and I can leave a negative ding on Jordan's social whatever, effectively your personal Google page of like, whatever, Jordan said this to me. And I think this is a very wide tangent. Like we have derailed, but I think the problem is that then that doesn't allow for people have bad days, dude. Like people have bad days. People are going through things. I read this book a while ago called The Charisma Myth, and it was just saying like some human wisdom in there. But there was, if you just give everyone the benefit of that, like if you're getting chippy with me, and it's admittedly out of character for you, like he's just going through something, dude. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what he's going through. That was unlike Jordan. I'm just gonna blow it off, right? Let love cover multiple.
There's an actual, and it was on YouTube. I don't know if it's still there. It was I want to think it was called Rose-Colored Glasses.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Same. It's a movie.
It's not a movie. It's just like a 4-minute clip, and it just gives different scenarios. Like Jordan could be in one, and he's screaming at his mom, right? And then it's you, and you're having a bad day at work, and then it's me, and then I'm screaming at somebody,
Yeah.
or doing whatever, driving down the road and flipping somebody off.
Sure.
And then the same thing goes back, but now instead of it showing Jordan arguing with his mom, it shows that his girlfriend just broke up with him.
Right before.
Right before.
Shows, adds
And then
context,
with
yeah.
you just found out
Yeah.
something negative happened, and then with me, I found out something negative happened with me. So
I
it
like
just
how
goes
the only
back.
example is Jordan getting whatever.
Well, it's a negative, right?
Yeah.
And so it really just goes back to you don't know what somebody's going through, like kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah.
And if you knew, or the little kid at school that's
Oh,
sleeping
yeah.
in class. Well, you don't know he's sleeping in class because he was too busy taking care of his baby sister because his mom is a drunk and his dad's not even in the home, right? So it's just you never know what somebody else is going through.
Absolutely.
And that's something. I mean, I'll be honest. If anybody knows me, that's something that I really need to.
I think it's natural because you want to internalize it, right? You want to be like, oh well, they did this to me, and I'm the victim. So I think that would all be, all that to say.
And that's how you sell your house.
So social score, that's why Warm AD 5656, you're off the hook. We don't know. You may be a bot.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like you just be rage bait at this point.
I think the worst thing about the social scores is you have a different opinion than me, and someone will lie and basically say, I mean, you know how it is with
horrible.
I've encountered that,
Once or twice.
How is all right? So final Reddit rundown. How is ROI calculated for home renovations? Is there something like, oh no, keyboard warrior for you? Oh, that's an unfortunate name. He's the original poster. Is there something like a document or study that I could pay a realtor or construction estimator contractor to create? First off, you're talking to the wrong people. It'd be an appraisal. I digress. To create for me where projected profits for a renovation are estimated. I want to remodel my house's kitchen, master bath, and exterior. Holy cow. What's wrong with your house? But I'm afraid of throwing money around without a vision. Any insight is appreciated. So, I'm gonna go first on this one.
Go ahead.
So I was talking about basement remodels time prior, and I told you like Scarlett she shares a room with her two brothers. She needs her own space. I'm getting kicked to the basement, and I plan to do the work myself. But I was like, let's kick some giggles. Let's get Matrix out there. Take a guess. So my basement is 700 square feet. I'm gonna say 100 of it is furnace room, and it will stay that way. So it's just kind of utilities. It's non-functional. So 670. He's doing 670 square feet. I guess it probably would have been call it 750 of footage. We just quoted vinyl floor, demo the ceiling, spray it black. There is a small bathroom. It's probably 5 by 13, 5 by 15. So it's a very small bathroom, but redo it, update it, tile, whatever.
Oof, there you go.
It's dude. I'm telling you, could tile this.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Okay. So and then drywall around the walls, not the ceiling. That was it.
20,
Oh, stop. That's cute.
25.
That's cute. Stop.
So vinyl floor, and now they did quote insulating the walls. So they, because that's their thing. So insulating the walls, drywall, and new lights. Yeah. So when you take down, just put like some kind of
So the electrical.
Electrical. Yep. He's crunching numbers. I can see the steam.
He's 30, 40.
55,000.
Nope.
Not even
70.
close.
Nope.
80.
Nope.
100.
90.
What?
$90,000.
Yeah.
And the
What?
today price, I felt bad for this kid. Because I'm quoting. I was like, I just need to see, how much I'm saving. And they are. I mean, I've now seen that their billboards are all over. They're partnered with the Lions. So I probably couldn't have found a more expensive company.
Yeah. Someone's got to pay for that marketing.
I was gonna say, like-
Right? So, but it was 90, and I was like, he's like, did you have a budget in mind? I was like, I'm gonna guess you guys might be around 40. He's like, yeah, everyone I talked to says 40, and it's all right. They don't know. So, but and I was like 90,000. I was like, wow. I was like, and I was like 90. So that's, I was like, that's incredible. And this is not even livable space then. He's
I
like,
just
he's
wanna
like,
know-
well, we could add an egress. I was like, oh, so it's not even livable. Like, it's not even for 90 grand, bro. Build an addition.
I want to know who
Yeah.
actually pays that price. Like
Old
how,
Your lady that did
old.
the roof.
Old.
but that should be a
Old.
scam.
It was an old lady.
Yeah.
It was an old lady. She paid like what,
60 grand.
It's the
For
old.
a
It's
roof.
the old people. Yeah, I mean,
60 grand.
They screwed her.
that guy.
They should be in
came out to
jail.
mess- They should.
They should be in jail.
I'm hesitant to say we need more regulation,
I
but like
know.
there's gotta be some type of protection. You know, like for me, I'm gonna be like, bro, okay, yeah. Like he's like,
Yeah.
well, today would be, is there anything? And then he had to call his manager before he was allowed to leave. And he's like, yeah, I just want. Hey, so David's just, he thinks he had 40 in mind. Is there anything we can do? And he's like, yeah, and I told him, I'm like, guys, I don't. What am I gonna say to you?
I could
like,
do it for 15.
Yeah, I that's kind of where I was at. I could do it for. It'd take a lot of time. It would take me a lot of time alone, but. It's a
I got time.
It's a 60 grand spread, dog. And it wasn't like, it wasn't elaborate. Like literally, I walk into these basements all the time. It wasn't like Owens Corning with the fancy acoustics. There's some money for the spray in, but all that to say, 90 grand for I don't even know if that would add 10 grand in value to the house.
About 10 to 20.
10.
I was going to say 10 to 15.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say 10 to 15. I mean, because it's like
It depends on how nice
On
you
a
do
good
it,
day,
too.
20.
Yeah.
I mean,
depending on how nice you
Right.
do it and everything. I mean, again, it just. But
I don't think. Yeah, so that's a finished basement. Now a kitchen. There's degrees of the kitchen, right?
well, and he wants a spreadsheet. Like, if I put this,
He
in,
wants a
then
calculator.
You can't get that
No.
unless you have somebody make it for your neighborhood specifically.
yeah. This is
And
where you
even
just need
then-
a professional to know your market and know how much in your market is that kitchen worth, right? Is whatever.
But,
Fill in your blank.
there's also kitchens and bathrooms are one of those things like
You can go cheap.
you so there is a number in which like an updated kitchen, nice maybe shaker style cabinets and some type of hard top counter and stainless appliances that will add some value to it. 15 maybe.
Again, it depends on the
depends on the
neighborhood.
size. Depends on the size of the kitchen. Depends on how well it's done. But that same kitchen, same footprint, if you can get high in it, you can spend 50 and still only get 15. So that was when I think that that values how home's exterior.
It depends. On
You're
what it
gonna have
looks
you're gonna have
like,
a
yeah.
tough time convincing me that like your new siding increases it. Like I don't know. What do you think? I
So-
mean, talk to an appraiser, I guess. But like,
One thing that I tell people too, when it's certain things like that, it's not all about necessarily a return on investment. It's about your house selling. If your siding looks like crap and it's pink, and again, I'm just making things up, and you've got this pink house, your siding might look fine. It might be perfect. It might actually be new, but you might want to paint it
you're literally
because
selling a pink elephant.
yeah, no one wants it. So in the same token, if your vinyl siding's got a bunch of chips and a bunch of breaks, and an inspector's going to come in and say, yeah, you probably got 3 to 5 years left, you may just want to bite the bullet and do it because your house is going to sit for 3 months because no one's got the 10 grand to do it. And you may not get the 10 grand back in full. It's better than you sitting on the market and then taking less because it's sat forever. That's one thing on the ROI stuff.
Yeah. So the return on investment, that's a very, very
Better ways to spend your money.
yeah.
If you're looking at true investment, there's better ways to invest.
Yeah, and this is where unfortunately, you just get too many people staying up too late at night watching HGTV, and they think, oh, I'm going to buy this house for $100,000, put 50 into it, sell for $300,000, and life is good. And you don't. And I mean, it's because, and I'm not trying to dog this guy out. At least he's smart enough to know he doesn't know, and he's trying to figure it out. But I would definitely try to figure it out before you do any kind of investments, and just, I mean, to me, I don't know, maybe it's because I've been doing it so long. It's common sense. You just look at it, right? In this condition, it's X. It's worth X amount.
Yeah, it's tiers. Thank you. Yeah, and you could even I kind of grade it. I've never really put a number to it like this, but I look at it in like degrees of maybe like 1 to 3. You know, 1 to 3, maybe 1 to 5, and so 1 is like, dude, just is a complete gut. You know, 2 is like it's functional, old, it's outdated, but it's functional. And then 3 is like it's functional and new and well done. I mean, again, I might add a 4. It's like it's updated but poorly done. Homeowner special. You know, some guy with a trim nailer and like whatever.
I think appraiser's great at what, 5 or is it a 5? Or
Do
7?
they do 5?
I can't remember what
We need
their
an appraisal.
scale is.
We need an
I don't think
appraisal
it's
on
5.
here. So this couple of
thought it
these
was 3.
comments says take whatever you spent and multiply it by 0.
Stop.
Well, that's not entirely true. This lady says, "Oh, I see." After a plethora, I see what you're saying. You mean if you put in 100K, best case is that increases the value by 100K, so it's a wash. That's not realistic
can't.
either.
You
Yeah.
can't,
So, and this is interesting. I am curious. I lost it.
C1 to
Best
C6.
return is additions.
Huh? What do you say?
Is this? I'm
No, it's not.
trying to find it.
Yeah, that's a huge no.
Best ROI for housing is additions. When you look at
Stop.
Zillow or Redfin, this is snake end. So
Well, a snake knows. Okay,
it's assuming the bathrooms are in perfect conditions. So if you rip out a perfectly fine bathroom, make it better, literally no one cares. If someone actually cares what the bathroom looks like, they're going to gut your renovation and redo it to their liking. That I agree with. Additions are what is it? What is a return on addition?
horrible.
Yeah, you're
horrible.
Is it horrible?
Horrible.
How
We have one in Trenton, or we had one in Trenton. It was 1,000 square foot, 3-bed brick. Just your typical 1,000 square foot ranch in Trenton. It had an addition on the back.
How big?
And it was a living room size. So I mean, you're talking
150 square feet, maybe 175. I mean, it's
So-
only 10 by 12,
That is not
10 by
well,
15.
Why go through the effort for
But that's-
for a bedroom?
No, it's an
No,
extra living space.
that
But
was
that's
a-
what most people do. When either whether you're looking at in Woodhaven or Trenton,
So that's 10 by 17. That's not big at all.
no,
That's
probably
not big at
cost
all.
them. Well, and they did it a while ago.
Yeah,
so I don't
yeah.
know. But I mean, now you try to do that, and you're talking what?
You're at 350 square foot now to add an addition on.
Yeah, you're
How
probably
can
talking 60s.
how can that be?
Ask your guy for 90,000. How can that be? Do the math. Do the math. That's everything.
New builds aren't that
Okay,
much.
so you did.
Yeah,
how
but
many
you're
square
talking a
feet?
new house versus a little.
Right. How many square feet were you at?
Like 740. Yeah, he's at 100 and change. Yeah, he was at like $120 a foot
For doing nothing.
for doing effectively cosmetic. Yeah.
Now imagine if I had to put a foundation,
brick.
brick it. Do you know how much they want right now per cinder block? Per cinder block.
Are you talking brick veneer? Or
No. You got to do the foundation. So you got to put. If you're gonna put it on,
so not a poured foundation.
right. I'm
Okay.
just gonna put it on a crawl space. Do you know how much contractors are at right now per cinder block?
I know. A few years ago when you did your barn, they were at like $1.20.
Well, that's the cost of my cinder block. It's about $1.25. Do you know how much they charge to lay per block?
It was $15.
$15.
$15.
$15.
Oh, I could figure out how to lay cinder block for 15 bucks.
And I know these guys, and I'm like, no. All three of them said $15 per block. So you want to know how you get to $350? That's how you get to $350 a square foot.
That's incredible.
Now, if it's just a family room and you're putting in 3 walls, right, it might be a little bit cheaper than that. But if you're doing anything nice and you're adding on, dude, look it up.
And they probably got 10, 15 grand extra for that room, if that. And I mean, even if you go to Southgate, where you see they add in, in Southgate, what you'll see a lot, or what's more common, is they've got the typical 3-bed brick ranch, and then they add a upstairs. So now it's a colonial, and they spent who knows how much. You have to remember,
They just did that down the street from me.
yeah. So you have to remember, and
Horrible.
if you, especially,
They probably tripled the size of the house, though. It's
Yeah.
like probably a 700 square foot house.
But you have to remember too, what's your neighbors like? So if you're in a neighborhood where everybody's doing it, sure.
Right.
If
So
you're
you-
in a neighborhood where you're the only one who's done it, congrats, you definitely screwed yourself.
Yeah. So your house, I'll use your area as an example. You're in an area where you've got a bunch of mishmash houses, right?
Yeah,
You've got some that are extremely smaller than yours, some that are the same size, and probably some that are bigger.
Yeah.
But when you take an area, and I'll use Trenton as an example, where you've got subdivisions. It doesn't matter where you're at, right? If you've got subdivisions and your house is a cookie cutter house and you've only got one of 3 different styles, right? But they're all basically the same square footage, 1,800 to 2,000. If you take and add on another 400, 500 square feet, you're talking another $80,000, $90,000 addition at that point in time. You're only if you're adding on, say, 400 square feet into one of those areas, you're probably only going to add on $10,000 to $15,000 of value out of that.
Maybe a little bit more. If it's
And the
400
reason for that is you have to remember you got different types of value. All right. So it's not Jerry's value. It's not Dave's value. You have what's called an appraised value. And that's all an appraiser is going to give you because that's all he can justify on paper.
Of course. Yeah.
Is that. And right now, unfortunately, what appraisers are giving, you can't build garages for on that per square footage basis. So when I go from say 1,000 square foot brick ranch house in Trenton, and I say, ooh, mine's 1,200 square feet. That one sold for, I'm going to say $250. That's $250 a square foot. I got another 100 square feet. I can add on another $25,000. Wrong. It's more like $2,500.
It's stupid.
It's crazy what appraisers allow. Now, I'm not blaming appraisers. Yes, I am. Because I think we could get more out of it, but we can't get it to appraise. And that's why people end up coming in with, over asking and cash and whatever. But yeah, your square footage, don't add on. If you are on the smaller end in your subdivision, it may be worth it. You'd have to ask a local realtor, right? Don't take the builder's.
Yeah.
What do you call it? His
Sure.
advice, because he's going to say yeah.
Of course.
But in reality, you need to check your local real estate stats and see if you're 1,000 square foot and you're trying to add on 200 or 300 square feet, what are houses that are 1,250, 1,300 square feet selling for? And then what are the 1,000 square feet selling for in that same subdivision, apples to apples?
Sure.
And see what the price difference is. My guess is you're not going to see maybe about a 30% difference.
Yeah.
And that tells you what the value is on what it now you have enjoyment value.
Yeah, sure.
Right? If you're young and you plan on staying there for 30 years, there's value there. And you may say, you know what, it's okay because I don't care. I'm going to stay here for 30 years. Then do it. It's like a pool, right? We talked about that. Pools are another thing that you're not putting in a pool to get more money unless you're maybe in Naples, Florida.
Yeah.
You're going to get your money back.
Yeah.
But this is Michigan.
Yeah, in Florida, you need a pool.
All right.
In Michigan, you don't.
It goes back to expectations.
Yeah, sure. Man. Well, I guess Reddit was wrong. I didn't know additions were that much though. $350 was steep.
Well, you have to remember they're going to charge you more.
Yeah.
They're going to charge you more because it's just an addition.
Yeah.
Compared to a whole house where they've got 3,000 square feet, they're going to be there for a while.
All right. Well, that's it as far as our Reddit rundowns. We went a little bit over, but that's okay. I think we answered all of our questions and comments that we have from Anthony and his raccoon pets that he's let out into the wild. I will be letting my sister know to maybe donate the sugar gliders or don't. I don't know. Take them to pet.
Yeah, I mean, and I can relook it up, but I really don't feel like
they're dead.
They're not going to make it if you let them out in the park.
I mean, I don't think like they were, he just didn't want to chop its head off in his house, so he wanted to do, get it out of his sight, out of his mind, and then let nature take its course, which is fine.
I'm sure the owls are happy.
Yeah, I mean they got to eat too, right? So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for this week's show. As always, if you have any questions about if you're thinking of selling, towards the warmer months, you can reach out to any one of us, Synergy Realty Group in Woodhaven. You've got Jordan Bobbitt, Jerry Bobbitt, myself, David Fox, and we could, come to a walkthrough and shoot you straight on like things to do and, get it as desirable as possible, because it could be some paint, it could be some decluttering, it could not be an addition. And, to get that thing ready to sell come springtime in the new year. Or if you're hunting, there's it's not too early. If you're thinking of buying in the spring, maybe see if you could even get pre-approved. I mean, there could be some credit repair, things that need to happen there. So hit us up and we'll be able to help you guys out. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.